Hello everyone, today we are going to cover the Ichihime Mahjong Classroom of on Mahjong Show. It's in preparation for my Galaxy Guide series, which has basic knowledge requirement. So this is basically the basic knowledge that you need to follow the Galaxy Guide series. We will just go through every single of these topics, and I will explain a little bit more in detail what the game really wants from you and really wants you to understand. We are hopping into a game right now. You can read it, but we have here the tiles. We have 34 tiles in 3 suits, and then we have the honor tiles, the winds and the dragons here. And then it's called Monster, Pinches, Sosu, but it's called Caracal, Circles or Dots, and the Bamboo in English. And then to complete a hand, you need 4 melts and a pair. And a melt is either a sequence, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 5 of bamboo here, or a triplet is a 3 of a kind. You can't have a sequence with 9, 1 and 2. It really ends. It begins at 1 and then it ends at 9, and you can't make a sequence out of a 1 and a 9. And then here it says winning. You need 4 sequences or triplets, 4 melts and 1 pair. And this is where the 5 block theory comes from, which will be covered in the Galaxy Guide series. And then here, to reach that goal, each turn you draw 1 tile from the wall. If not a winning tile, you choose 1 tile to discard and maintain a hand of 13 tiles. And here we are 1 away, and we need a 3 or 6 of bamboo. And or we need a pair. We either need a 1 of bamboo or 9 of bamboo. That would give us a waiting hand here as well. To win a hand, we need 1 Yaku. It's a winning condition basically. And then here the one of the most common Yaku is all simples, also known as standard. And it's only tiles 2 to 8 without honors, without 1s and 9s. So every single tile here is between 2 and 8, except for this one of bamboo. And we are waiting here. We have 1 triplet here, 6, 7, 8 here in the character suit, a 3, 4, 5. And then a pair of 2 bamboos, and then a 4, 5, which still needs to complete. But now we are waiting, so we can discard a 1 here. And then we are waiting for the 36 to complete the hand. It's called Tempai, being able to win. And here we get the 3 of bamboo, or we can win on the 6 of bamboo, so we can win here. It's all simples, and it is 1300, but you will learn about the scoring probably later, but it's quite complicated. There is a formula for it, but no one uses the formula, or like I use the formula, but most of the people tend to remember the scores by heart. The red mark here is the dealer, that's the east player. The dealer has 2 main purposes or 2 main features. They will gain 1.5 times more points, and they pay half of the value if someone wins by self-pick or sumo. And if the east player wins, they stay east, being the dealer. So here, it's an east win match. It's a tumpusen in Japanese. So the match ends when every player has been dealer 1 time, and then don't think about disconnecting basically. And the match end, 4 players will be ranked from 1st to 4th, which is very standard. Aim for 1st place, really like no comment about that. Here in the middle you see East 2, which means the round is East. The 2 means the second round in East. And then in the middle the 69 tiles say how many tiles are left. At 0, when we are out of draws, it's called exhaustive draw. And then there will be payments for people who are tempai, who are waiting, from the people who are not waiting. And we are west here. The wind directions don't match the compass, but it's something that you just get used to while playing Mahjong. It's actually going in counterclockwise fashion. I don't know if it was mentioned already, but here the simple Raku, our Rakuhai, our Feru honors, Feru Taos in English. It's all the dragons. It's actually 3 different Raku, the white dragon, the Haku, Hatsu for the greens, and the Chun for the red dragon. And then you have the round wind, the prevalent wind. I like to call it the round wind. I think it's Pakase in Japanese, and seed wind is Chikase. And we are west here, so we can win with the east because it's the east side, and we can also win with the west because that's our seed wind. And here we have a west here, and if a player discards a tile and we have 2 of them, we can pawn that and do form a triplet. So we will pawn this, and then shows 3 of a kind here. Here on the right, and the middle tile shows that we got the tile from the person across. Very important for Furiten. I will be discussing that later. And we are 1 away here, and then here, if the player on the left, only the previous player discards the tile, as you can form a sequence with 2 tiles in the hand, you can see on the tile. And then you have to open those tiles, and then you grab the tile basically, and then we see here, and then we discard the 2, and then we are waiting on the 1 and 4 of dot here, which is now shown here. We are waiting on the 1 or 4, and we can win over someone else discard here. So here on the right you see there are 3 tiles left for each, and now we have a 4 of a kind, and that means that we can con. Conning means that you have 4 of a kind. You can con if someone discards the 4th copy and you have 3 of a kind. You can go con, but this is a close con because we have 4 copies in our hand. And basically our Wasufu is extra full, and there are some special rules considering the new Tora indicator. And this is a close con, and then there is a new Tora indicator here in the top left. I hope you can see that. It's a 9 of character, but the indicator is thrown before we discard with a close con. If it's an open con, we discard first, and then the new Tora indicator is thrown. But here we can go run. We should have 150, yeah, some 150 or 1600. Don't worry about the scoring quite yet, it's really complicated. And we're moving on to the 3rd part, and that is called Riichi, and that is the main staple of the Mahjong game. It's called Riichi Mahjong, and this is really unique here. In the upper left corner there are 5 tiles, but only 1 is revealed. Isn't that strange? There are 5 possible indicators. For every single con you make or anyone makes, you reveal a new Tora indicator. And it will say, okay, sorry for that, but basically after every con you reveal a new Tora indicator, and it goes up to 4 cons by the same player. If there are 4 cons by 2 different players, there is a 4 con upward is to roll them. When you win, the more Tora tiles you have in your hand, the more points you win. Tora is 1 Han each, but they don't provide you with a winning condition. So you still need a winning condition here after you have Tora. And we are 1 away here. We need the 2, 5 or the 8 of bamboo, or we need the 3, 4, 6, 7 here. And here we have the most basic Yaku. It's called Riichi, meaning you have a close hand and you are waiting basically. Calls are not allowed, but close cons are allowed. Riichi means that you pay 1000 in the pot, basically putting in a pad and stating that you will win the hand. And if someone else wins, they still do a 1000 point deposit. But if you win, you get 1 extra Han, and you can get more bonuses, like an Ipatsu is winning on the first unbroken turn, and the Ura Tora, it's the underneath the Tora indicator, or extra points. It's very powerful. And here we have to press Riichi because we don't have a winning condition. Here we don't have an all simples hand. We have a 1 and a 9 of characters here. We don't have a dragon triplet or our seeds or round wind triplet. And we have 2 blocks here in the character suit, 1 block here in the dots, and then 2 blocks here in the bamboo. And to already see what we can discard to be waiting, we need 3 males and a pair, or 4 males and a pair, and we have only the pair is the 4 of bamboos here. And if we got the 3 of bamboos, we are waiting on the 5 and 8 of bamboo. So we got the 3 here for 5, 8. We can't change our hand after Riichi. That's also a limitation here. We have to basically Shimokiri, draw the tile that we just drawn, and discard it until we win, basically, or until it's exhaustive draw, or unless someone else wins. We have a Riichi Ventura here, and let's see if we get the Ipache. I think the game will allow us to get the Ipache because it shows you the mechanic that we have one more hand. But this hand is Riichi, Shimo, Ipache, and Ventura is 4 hand and 34. And if he hits Uratura, then we have more points. But here they said Ipache means basically an unbroken win. It's called sometimes called unbroken as well. You're winning in the first turn of Riichi without any goals, no kankos, no chicos, no ponkos. And of course, if there are long calls or Shimo calls, winning calls, you basically can't win. So we Shimo here, and let's see if we hit Uratura. And this is the Uratura. It says hidden Tora, and we didn't hit any Tora. If the south is the indicator, the west is the Tora. It's basically east, south, west, north, and then back to east. So if the south is Tora, the west becomes Tora. If there's a north there, then the east is Tora. And the Tora indicator here is a 1, and that means the next tile is the Tora, which is the 2 of characters. And the dragon order is awkward, because there's no distinct order, basically. You just have to know that it's in alphabetical order in both English and Japanese. When the white is the indicator, the green is white, green. Or like, it's basically, if you go in alphabetical order, it's green, red, white. So if the green is the Tora, then the red, or the indicator, the red dragon is the Tora, and the red dragon is the Tora indicator, the white is the Tora, and if the white, then the green becomes Tora. And we got a hand here. And let's see, we didn't have any Uratoras in our hand. And we will go to the next topic called Furiten. This is very important. It's not fully unique to Riichi Mahjong, but it's in the state how it's presented is really unique to Furiten. We can't win on any tiles of discard that we have discarded ourselves in our bond. It allows for defensive and strategic play. Mostly looking at Suchi. I will discuss it in the Galaxy Guide series as well. And then we have a half flush here. It's also one of the easier Yaku, but it's not that common, to be honest. It's a half flush, basically meaning 1 suit with honors. But we have a 147 of character weight, and the 1 is in our pawns, but you can't see it. But here, it basically says we can only win by self-pick or self-throw, and we can't win off of the table because any of our outs are in our pawn. So if one of the outs is in your pawns, you can't win off run. And there are more difficult concepts of Furiten, but this is like the main one. And even if there's only the one of characters in our pawn, we can win on the 7 or the 4. So it's not the same tile. There's a 1 here, the first discard is a 1 here, and we can't win here. And if you call Ron here, you have a combo. It's minus 20,000 in the EMA, minus 30k in the WRC format, and you don't want to have a combo. It's the biggest penalty that you can get, besides like disqualification. And here we have a half flush here with the rest. We don't have any more Yaku or Tora, so we can press Shimo here for Turhan, and it's 1000 each for 3000 points. So don't worry about the scoring, by the way, but I will just say what it is. The downside of Mahjong Seoul and Riichi City is that it doesn't show you the payments. It shows you the total value without the bonus sticks, and then after the point calculation you see the points transferring, and that is with the bonus counters. But it's really like it's not explained at all, and a lot of rules are just not explained. But I hope you learned a lot of the basics here. There will be one other video over on Riichi City with the same topic. I will just go quickly through this, and then in the Galaxy Guide series I go more into depth into hand building and actually winning the game. Here the Mahjong Tiles 5 types here, 3 suits, wins and dragons. How to win the hands. Discard the tile that you don't want. It's basically as simple as that until you get a completed hand. You have 2 pairs here, the 7 of bamboo and the green dragon. Have to be made of 2 identical tiles. How to win a hand. We need 4 triplets or sequences for the most common hands, and then 1 pair. There are exceptions. It's called 7 pairs and 13 orphans, but that is more complicated and also pretty rare. And then here for sequences or triplets plus 1 pair is winning, but we need a winning condition as well. That's called Yaku, and here we have a green dragon triplet for our Yaku. Tenpai meaning a ready hand, a waiting hand here for the 3 and 6 of dots. Can be of Ron, can be of self-drawn. Which style does the hand need for winning? We need 4 melts and 1 pair. The pair here is the 2 of characters here on the left. And then we have a 4, 5, 6 is completed, a 3, 4 which is incomplete, and then a 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 is 2 blocks here in the bamboo shoot. So we need to complete the 3, 4 shape here. So the answer is A, and that is correct. And here, which style does the hand need for winning? And we need 5 blocks and a pair, and we have 1, 2, 3, 1 block, 4, 5, 6, 2 blocks, 7, 8, 9 is 3 blocks, and we need a pair and 1 plus 1 here. And there are 2 different tiles that we can actually win on. If the 1 of bamboo acts as a triplet, we can win on the 2 of bamboo, but the option here is not given. But if the 1 of bamboo acts as a pair, we wait on 1, 2 of bamboo and waiting for the 3. So you can interpret this shape in 2 different ways, and this makes Furiten really tricky because we are waiting on 2 different tiles here. Is it 2 of bamboo for the pair, or if we get the 3 of bamboo, the 1 of bamboo is our pair, and this is correct. If you achieve temporary no Yaku, it will be shown. Like here, we don't have Yaku. I don't know what the round wind is, but it's not south, because we would win on the south, or it would say that we have Yaku on the south, so it's east round. We can potentially get Yaku here by after a Khan, but it requires us to Khan and then win on the replacement tile. And then the simple Yaku or the dragon tiles, just round winds shown in the middle or the seed winds. And you will change seeds after not every hand, and when there's dealer rotation, when the dealer doesn't win, basically there's a dealer rotation. So you will change seats over the course of the time, but you don't change position, like in MCR for example. And here we have all simples Raku, Tanya, and we can't hold any of those tiles, the 1 and the 9s, and the winds and the dragons. If you look closely here, these tiles here at the bottom form a special hand called 13 orphans. We need one pair, and this is basically 13 orphans here on the bottom. And here the other simple Riichi, simple Raku is Riichi, and we can't open call here, but we can have a close call. And we need to donate, or we need to deposit 1000 points. And then here, bits of the shape following a sequence is a Yaku. So what we have here in the bottom, we have an east triplet, a south triplet, and a west triplet. And if we look closely here in the middle, it says east 1, so the round is east. And we are sitting in the east seat. So we actually have the seat wind and the round wind east, which is 2 Han. 1 Han for the seed wind, 1 Han for the round wind. So it's the east. Well, we can call it a double east because it's double 2 Han basically. Bits of the tiles should you discard if you want to achieve Tanrao. Tanrao is an all simples. Yaku, we just draw a 4 of bamboo here. Tanrao can't have any 1s and 9s or winds or dragons, and we have a 1 of bamboo here in our hand, and we just drew a 4, so we can actually slide here. We can cut a 1 for the 2, 3, 4 of bamboo instead of the 1, 2, 3, and we can achieve Chandrao by discarding this 1 of bamboo. And here there is a quick overview of what it looks like in game. We have the previous player here on the left, the person across opposite player, and the next player here on the right. And then the points are all shown in the middle, remaining tiles, seed wind, and discarded tiles are in the pond. And we are playing our own hand. Our opponents can't see our hand unless they are cheating, but we are the only ones who see our hand, of course. And there's a timer here, 20 seconds on the timer. And then we draw a tile here, and you can read it for yourself, but there's not really that much information in there. We draw a tile, and then we discard a tile here. And our discarded tile are in front of us. And then here there's a G button showing up. G meaning complete the sequence. If the game waits for you to G or skip. If you have calling on, that is, you can disable calling if you have a closed hand. But when you are starting off, probably don't touch that button. And then if we see, we can select the 8 or the 6 and the 8. It will be automatic because there isn't any option. And then we are waiting, but we don't have Yaku. Cutting the 6 off Dot, but we don't have Yaku, so I wouldn't call this. The 7 of Dot is discarded by the last player. We can form a sequence 6, 7, 8. And then with the 6 pin and the 8 pin, you can call C. I already explained that. We have a pair of 9 of characters here, and the person across discarded a 9. He can call pawn here, but again, we don't have a winning condition, so I would skip this. But there's an option. There is an option to pawn, but it's not good. If you are really like a beginner, don't open your hand. And then here we have a 4 of a kind, and we are Furiten here. Where are we Furiten on? Okay, well, what happens here is when you have pressed Riichi, and if you skip a run on any player, you can't win off of run anymore. So every tile after the Riichi becomes safe against you, or you will become Furiten on. So we see a 3 of thought here on the right, and this player skipped the win here on the 3 of thought. But that also means that we can't win off of this card anymore, and that's why we are Furiten. It's actually the more interesting thing here than the gun. But we have 4 of a kind clause. We have a declared Riichi, but we are allowed to gun. If it doesn't affect our shapes, we can gun. If it changes our weights or our shapes, or the interpretation of our shapes, you are not allowed to gun. But sometimes online Mahjong plans do allow you to gun. It's actually illegal, but you won't get punished by it. So whenever there's a gun button, you can gun in online Mahjong. On 10 Riichi City and Mahjong, so you won't get a jumbo, even though the gun is not valid. Which of the following hand can see the 6 of bamboo? It's too obvious. Like I wish they had some other bamboo suits, but we can only see in the suits, and we have a 4-5 here, bamboo waiting on 36. We have a 5-7 here in characters waiting for the 6 of characters, and we have a 7-8 of thought waiting for 6-9 of thoughts. So it is just very obvious here. And here, which of the following hand can pawn the best from other players? As we know, we need 2 of a kind, a pair, to be able to pawn. And A shows 2 different dragons. B is interesting, it shows a east and a south. But there is no wind, sea or pawn, it's impossible. It's 3 of a kind always. And we have a west pair here on the right. And then here, that is it for me here, and let me know what you think, and I hope that you will join me on the adventure of the Galaxy Guide series, and we'll see you later.